Cape Town's communities are demanding urgent intervention from gun violence. Faith leaders marking out safe zones, residents marching and city and national officials clashing over capacity, parole and policing models. With former Western Cape Police Commissioner Dr. Lennit Max, we move past the blame to the how. Intelligence-led policing, prisoner-to-street pipelines, and what will bend the curve now. Dr. Max, thanks for your time. I appreciate you speaking to us. Just walk us through your experience of the levels of violence in the Western Cape when you were in office and to where we are now.
Yeah, it is a disaster. You know, the Western Cape as well as South Africa is under siege by criminals. And the gangsterism in the Western Cape is not a new phenomenon. It comes on a long, long way. During my time, it was rife, and we already had not sufficient people's power and resources at hand to curb this particular gangsterism. On the other hand, the slogan of the whole society approach is now a rhetoric, because it has been said for years now, it needs a whole society approach. And nothing has been done, but the society cannot contribute effectively if they don't trust the South African Police Service. And I think the revelations by General Mkwanazi actually deepened that distrust in the South African Police Service.
So there are a number of issues based on what you're saying. What also comes to mind, we talk about capacity, issues around resources, and obviously aspects to intelligence, right? Now, when it comes to capacity and potentially resources, those issues have been there since time immemorial, since you were in office. Just how important is capacitating police officers, increased intelligence in dealing with the issues at play?
You see, the intelligence is a problem for some time. During the previous government, it was used not for the purpose of, gathering information as far as crime is concerned. It was merely used to spy on certain individuals. And General Jacobs was appointed, and he was trying actually to rectify the situation. But subsequently, he was also removed from crime intelligence, and he's now with the inspectorate. So crime intelligence is not where it should be. And we have also learned recently that at head office, about 5 people and senior officers, were arrested of crime intelligence. So we sit with that vacuum and, a lack of proper leadership and strategy to gather information. In some instances, the gangsters' intelligence is much better than the police's intelligence.
Now, the one thing that continually surprises me is the brazen nature of some of these crimes. In our previous report, we were talking about Minister Mamloko Kubai and the conversation she's going to have with the police ministry around crimes or attacks that are happening within courtrooms and within the vicinity of courtrooms. Why do you think criminals are so brave or have such a disregard for the South African Police Service?
Yes, I'm not surprised that they are so brazen in their acts, because when you don't fear punishment or consequences, then obviously you aren't going to be controlled. You can't control the situation. For gangsters, the more serious the crime, as I said previously in my interviews, the more important they become in the structures of the gangs. And when they are being sent to the correctional facilities after conviction and sentence, they are going back to their structures in jail. So they are not afraid for the laws of this country. And for that reason, you will see often that they kill people in front of the courts. And most of these courts is adjacent to the police stations. So that is how brazen they are. And they don't have any regard for law and order in this country. You know, just to add to it, since 2022, 620 children were murdered as a result of gangsterism in the Western Cape, and 63 for the past 5 months. Now, these are innocent souls, and women who's actually been caught, and other innocent people who died in the crossfire of these gangs. You know, we've got the POCA, the Prevention of Organized Crime Act in place, but to institute such an investigation, it takes up to 5 years before anyone has been arrested. Now, I think it is time that we follow El Salvador's principle, where to become or to have a tattoo of gangsterism or act as a gangster or belongs to a gang structure must become illegal, and you should be arrested in terms of that particular act. And on the other end, the shootings is not going to stop. You know, the police sees numerous firearms, but the shootings continue unabated. Now, I have proposed the coded ammunition concept to the then Minister of Police, Becky Cele, and I believe that the minister was actually on suspension. He was also informed about this concept, and it was promised that we should take this concept forward.
Well, Dr. Max, walk us through that concept and how you think it'll impact the levels of crime that we're experiencing.
Yes, no, this concept was tested already in 2019 by the Police Ballistic Unit in Cape Town. And it has been recommended to be implemented and used by the police. And that means all ammunition will have a code. Even the bullet, the casing, as well as the primer will be coded. And once you buy these bullets, that code is against your name. And once you can't give that bullets to somebody else. At this point in time, there are gang leaders with valid firearm licenses, and they can go buy ammunition legally and distribute it to the rest of the gangsters. And it's for that reason that you see that the shootings don't stop, because they've got ammunition on a regular basis. So there's no shortage of ammunition. Now, you can seize the firearm, but if you don't, and control the firearm, but if you don't control the ammunition, you know, all these efforts will be in vain. So that concept is not something that the police don't know about. It was tested by their own ballistic unit, and I hope that the acting minister is going to focus on this and see how best can he put together a team to investigate this concept and actually see whether we can take it forward to Parliament for an amendment in the Firearms Control Act.
Well, the question that arises from that, Dr. Max, is that around political will. Is there political will? Many have argued that the reason that General Mkhwanazi went public is because he's a lone ranger, so to speak. He's fighting a war that nobody else would join him in fighting.
Yeah, that's a very good question. You know, there must be a political and bureaucratic will to bring about change. We cannot continue with the same things and do it over and over again and expect a different outcome. Now, it appears Mkhwanazi also smeared now Kele, as well as the minister who's actually now on special leave. You know, and I hope these things are not true. But if true, then obviously you can make your own inferences why there's not attention given to this particular concept. But I hope that this new acting minister, you know, there's no Smolinyana skeletons in his cupboard, and he's not being managed by ulterior people with ulterior motives, and that he can apply his mind as a responsible, elected and appointed person to serve South Africa and its people, and do everything legally possible to ensure that lives are safe in the Western Cape as well as the rest of the country.
Dr. Max, as we wrap, if you had 30 days, 3 immediate operational moves that reduce shootings, not just arrests, what would they be?
I can't hear you properly.
I said if you had 30 days, right, and 3 immediate operational moves that reduce shootings and not just arrests, what would they be?
Yes, of course. I will embark on this coded ammunition, this concept of coded ammunition. Certainly, I will see whether we can pull together energies from the metros together with the South African Police Service. We can then vet also security companies, because the security companies nowadays are much more than the South African Police Service. The police service is on 180,000 plus. The security service is on 600,000 plus. To vet those agencies and see how best can you incorporate them into the operational plan, because security companies, to a large extent, took over the crime prevention actions of the South African Police Service. So, and we experience on a daily basis how private security assists the police in capturing people for housebreaking, theft of vehicles, hijackings, as well as the kidnappings of people. So they are integral part of the crime combating plan of South Africa. If we don't do that, then we will fail.
Dr. Max, appreciate your time. Dr. Lennit Max, former Western Cape Police Commissioner, outlining for us some of the moves that he would make to reduce the levels of crime, not just in the Western Cape, but across the length and breadth of South Africa.